Hello, my name is Shadley, and welcome back for another episode of Victoria 3 as Merina Kingdom. In previous episode we managed to capture Oromia, as well as the part of Eritrea over here that we could take. And we've managed to increase our GDP quite a bit, largely due to the fact that we conquered Oromia. I mean, that is about a third of our GDP. Admittedly, it's also about, actually probably more than a third of the population, so that probably explains a little bit. But let's just unpause, and we did just get one of the universities in Oromia completed, so that is going to increase the innovation even further. And slowly but surely we'll get the mechanical tools. Oh, it is spreading to us right now. Okay, good. So mechanical tools, after that, hopefully the railways will start spreading, because that is something we are going to be needing sooner. But I'm going to be focusing on the society text for a little bit, get the dialects so we can get the extra innovation. Plus we can get an extra education investment. Which, to be fair, we need to wait for that one. Health system, we don't have anything new there yet either. We're gonna have to start building a bit more bureaucracy, or government administration soon enough, I reckon. Because we need bureaucracy to start incorporating this area. But we're not quite ready to do that yet. So we've got 2 million radicals. I mean, we got a decent bit from the new conquest. It is slowly dropping, as we can see from the line there, just about. But the loyalists aren't doing all that strong either. But at least we got the taxation laws done. That was the big thing that I wanted to get. Oh, now we're losing a bit of money, but that's alright. Getting another university. Then we're going to get a lot of ports in Madagascar, which is going to improve the situation actually quite a bit. All things considered. So, how's the turmoil doing over here? It's already 46.3, so that is going down rapidly. And over here it's 43.8, so it's not going down quite as much, but I think it is slowly dropping. I mean, especially with the standard of living slowly improving and all that, it shouldn't be too bad. It's just a big problem is the market access is not all that great in here. I believe they can access the market through Eritrea, which does have 100% access, so that does help. Right, how are we doing in terms of population in here? It's already 1.6 million. It's actually migrating a little bit from here. There's not a lot of pops available, to be fair. But I suppose it's better than nothing. So I think the next war that we're going to do could be... Actually, we can't do a war against Kaffa yet. And for Gondar or Tigray, we probably want to conquer both of these. So we need to basically clear out all the infamy that we have, and that's going to take a decent bit of time. Or if we were just to do a war for, let's say, Gondar. I don't have a claim on Gondar, so I can't go for that one, but 22.5 infamy. So that's quite a bit. Admittedly, it doesn't take too many years to get rid of all that, but it's still a bit rough at times. Ah, there we go. Mechanical tools completed. So, precision tools for furniture manufactory, tooling workshop, paper mill, livestock ranches, at least railways. Okay, let's have a look at the buildings. So, livestock ranches, if I go for the slaughterhouse, that's going to require a lot more tools, but the meat price is going to drop drastically. Then we could go for the tooling workshops in the urban, of course. And, oh, right, steel tools, that's going to be building a lot more tools. The iron price is going to start dropping, which is good. I mean, do we have a steel mill? We do have a steel mill. We got 2 levels of it, actually. That's good. Paper mill, we're going to go for the sulfite pulping. We need a bit more sulfur then. We can produce a lot more papers, and that's going to be a lot more money. At least a lot more GDP, I reckon. And use a bit more tools. But less hardwood. Oh, more hardwood, but less wood itself. And that will give us a lot more luxury furniture. Hardwood price is going to be quite expensive. But I suppose that's one of those things that, well, we do produce hardwood. Actually, do we produce hardwood on every logging camp already? We do. We don't have that many, but I suppose it's just the French are also using a lot. So even if we produce enough for our needs, the French are going to be using more than what we produce. So the second university is already underway. We've got already 68.5 innovation production. That's not too bad. Of course, we do need a decent bit of extra in there as well, but, you know, it's on a good trajectory there, I suppose. Urbanized Merina Kingdom. Wind of change. Ah, 25% more loyalists from standard of living increases in North Madagascar. Or urban center building throughput. I'm going to take the loyalists right now. I think we need that. So we maybe start dropping the radicals a little bit. Public address goes Averai. Okay, I guess I'll take that one. But I don't think the protectionism is going to pass. We could try go for free trade. Industrialists would absolutely love that, but a lot of the others would not enjoy that. We could always go for mercantilism as well, which Rule Folk would not approve of. But, you know, at least that would allow us to do some trading. Does that? Yeah, that would be okay. Let's have a look at the other laws, to be fair. Is there anything else that we could do? Opponent bureaucracy, autocracy. We could go for some of the voting laws. At the same time, I think we're going to stay as autocracy for now. Rights of assembly. No social security. Colonial. We could go for colonial exploitation. That's 15% chance. But that would radicalize the intelligentsia. That's probably not a good idea. So I guess we'll try to go for the mercantilism for now. We don't anger too many groups, at least. Secession in southern Germany. Oh, Czech Republic. Or Czech uprising there. Oh, and Belgium is being occupied by France again. How many times have they done that? Which war is it this time? I mean, it is against the... Oh. The Brits want to conquer Tidor. Austria wants to conquer or open Dutch East Indies market. So it's Austria and Britain versus Netherlands and France. And USA, apparently, on the French side as well. And a whole lot of British colonies. Now, it remains to be seen which side wins, but... Needless to say, the French are quite busy with their wars over there. Oh, we're getting a chemical plant now. Ooh. Okay, and then we're going to get some dye plantations, more millet farms as well. Alright then. Wait, revolution in North... Oh. So did the Czech Republic actually get their independence, or is this... No, this is still the uprising. Slowly forming up, but it's against the... Okay. So the radical Germany might be... Or is it... Like, they've got double revolution right now. Ugh. That's not great. Not for them anyway. Scandinavia has formed up. Ottomans still have quite a bit of land, but they haven't really expanded that much. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to take over Ethiopia. Though we might try to take at least Zanzibar and the Portuguese territories over here. Just so that we control most of the coastline here. And then maybe take Yemen for this, at least some of it. Not entirely sure if I'd go for all of it this time around. But, you know, the lead over there is quite nice. And I can have a decent build pops over here in Kazimit State. I got 1.4 million in there. In just that area, so that's pretty decent. And GDP, oh wow, we're number 16 worldwide. Okay. So we're slowly growing there, in terms of GDP. We've got quite a bit of ways to be the number one, of course, but... We're now getting the ports. Did we get all the ports already in here? I think we got at least some ports, but they may not have high... We got all the ports in here already. They need to hire a little bit more. But there we go. We are at 89%. Oh, the shipping lane. Okay, so the wars against Britain are causing a bit of issues for our market access here. It's probably costing us a decent bit of money. We've got still some gold reserves, so I'm not too worried about that one. It's something that we might have to keep an eye on. And now we've got 43% literary rate, so it's probably slowly increasing. At least with the innovation of 70 now, it should be fairly good in doing all of that. So dialects is now spreading, and after that we can increase the spread even further. I do wonder what is going to be spreading after the egalitarianism. I guess that's something that we'll find out eventually. Right, so the market access is about 80% in all three of the big states that we have. All the full states that we have. Eritrea, luckily, it doesn't have a problem like that, but... Oh, there we go. Radicals are actually going slowly down. And now we've got the egalitarianism. Let's have a look. What is it going to start spreading? Aha, it is dialects. Okay, so that does give us a decent bit of extra in there. Actually, how much is it? 15 or 18 to 55. Okay. Well, I mean, it's a decent boost there, I suppose. And if we can get that faster, then of course that increases our innovation by another 10 points or so. Right, so we still need a bit more tax capacity, at least in here, if we are going to make these into proper states. And we need a lot more infrastructure. That's the number one problem. Speaking of which, how's the... Yeah, so the infrastructure is still a little bit too short. Or there's a bit of shortfall in there on Madagascar. But once we get some railways, that will fix the issue. Can we pass mercantilism? Nope. British dignitary murdered. This dignitary from Great Britain has been murdered in Tananare restaurant. It is suspected that this was an attempt to sabotage a trade agreement that would bring Merina Kingdom out of its isolated state. Okay, and at that time, plus 20%. When preserve isolation gets murder investigation 5 years, minus 25 political movement support. Or we can get 10% success chance, and Yeah, we'll just get the extra success chance. I mean, Britain might not like us after that. We can probably improve relations with them in the meanwhile. This is not all bad. Infamy is dropping slowly. We could probably do our war against Gondor soon. Or we could try... Well, I suppose Amhara we can't do much. Are they improved relations? They are, okay. I can't declare them as a rivalry, and I don't necessarily want to... Well, what I can do is I can do the war against Tigray to begin with, and then later on we can do a war against them as well. I do actually wonder if I invite them into the war and give them Amhara, so it's just going to be one state that we conquer from them. It would maybe delay conquering it a bit further, but that's fine. We'll at least get one state and they'll get another state. But we've still got too much infamy to actually do that sort of safely. I don't want to take too much risks in here. Because if someone like Britain intervenes, then I'm screwed. Oh. Okay, Belgium has lost Wallonia to the Dutch. And you want a defensive pact, crucial states? No. You're still part of the British market. I don't really need to worry about that one. Oh, we're getting a lot of textile mills in northern Madagascar, apparently. Oh, now they started... Oh, they colonized Zambezia. Oh, right, it's down here, isn't it? Yep. So, yeah, I won't be able to get into the inner Africa, but I can, if I can take Zanzibar and then take the Portuguese lands. For the Portuguese lands, we need to increase our military quality quite a bit, though, before we can realistically speaking take them head on, but slowly but surely we can start working towards that. But if we can take Zanzibar, that would give us a lot of pops there that we can then turn into some extra military in Sundry, and then of course some naval bases and all that. Plus, you know, it's a fairly good selection of various plantations that could be had, but including rubber plantations. Now, I can't build those myself, but that could be quite useful in the long run. Right, Bohemia is independent. Yeah, they are. And Germany is now... Let's have a look at the policies a little bit. So they're still monarchy, they've got landed voting. They've got professional army. Classes for air protection and per capita taxation. Local police force. So I'm guessing the land... Well, actually, the landowners aren't really that much in power right now. They got industrialists and rural folk and some trade unions and petite bourgeoisie in power. They have abolished serfdom. Although, actually, I think they start with serfdom abolished already. Possibly. Not entirely sure. I've not actually played in Germany, so I don't know what the laws in there are at the start of the game. There's quite a bit of support for landed voting, to be fair. I mean, we've gotten a lot of the laws that we needed to pass, so we could maybe go for landed voting. Well, actually, we are still passing the mercantilism first. So we want to open the market, then we can do some trading and all that. Oh, we need more bureaucracy. Right, so Britain, we at least improve relations, so that's not going to be too bad of a relations with them. I'm also losing a lot of money, well, a decent bit of money, of course. If we were to increase taxes, we would sort of reduce the deficit pretty much entirely, or just reduce some of these upkeeps over here. And that would take care of most of it. You know what, I think I am going to do that. We'll still have enough authorities to last for a while, and now we're not losing a lot of money, admittedly. Okay, now we're losing a bit more again when it recalculates some other things. But I'm hoping that we can pass the mercantilism. We've got 10% from the legal scapegoat extra in there, so it's a little bit better chance than what it used to be. But I don't know if that is going to pass yet, but I'm hoping that it will soon, so that we can start doing some trading. Not that there's necessarily a lot of, quick connections. Enactment time. Minus 20%. I'm going to take that. Industrialists are not going to enjoy that, but they are still going to be loyal, so I don't need to worry about it too much. How's the radicals? The radicals are actually going up a little bit. So are the actually the loyalists aren't really going up that much, especially now that we lowered the wages. We did capture all of that, so if I wanted to do a war in here for Tigray, we'll still probably want to wait a little bit longer for the infamy to drop, because I don't want to get a lot of extra radicals from these conquests either. Like, we'll still get quite a few, admittedly. Oh, wow. Taxation capacity over here is rubbish. I mean, they do have almost 5 million people in there, so it kind of makes sense, I suppose. And Zulus are now a Dominion, I believe. Yeah, they're a Dominion. France has started colonizing a lot on the west coast of Africa over here. I mean, they've got quite a bit of areas here. They've got all of Tripolitania as a puppet. They haven't taken Algeria quite yet. I'm sure that they might... Well, actually, I don't know if they will do that. How's America looking like? Okay, they've taken California. The Mexicans still own Arizona. But I suppose that's not too bad. I mean, it's fairly close to the historical borders. Well, relatively close. Other than Arizona, I suppose. Oh, and Hawaii is still independent. Austria has started colonizing in Papua. Alright then. And the Russians haven't started going into Sakhalin yet. I mean, how are the Russians doing anyway? They're allied to France. They got defensive pact with Austria. So they're probably kind of posed to be anti-Germany in here. And that's pretty much it. And Germany itself has, well, they got truce with Bohemia. They don't have any allies or anything like that. We're about to get the dialects. Next week, we'll get that and then we can start increasing our innovation production. Let's do that immediately. I don't want to forget it this time around. So that is gonna, well, it's gonna increase the paper consumption quite a bit. But an extra 10 innovation, it's not bad. And now we're getting the Central Archives, which is still gonna take more than 2 years. Unless it starts spreading, no, nationalism is spreading. Okay, well, that's not necessarily the worst. But it's probably not the best either. Right, so in the government construction we got the food industries, then some government administration. What are we getting in the production? Oh, railways are spreading. Oh. You know what? I'm going to go for the railways first. Then we're going to go for the Central Archives. And then the modern sewerage as well. We want the railways. Sooner rather than later. I mean, it's already 1884. We are definitely behind in the railway business. But if we could just build a few railways in here, that's going to allow us to increase the industries drastically. We're not building anything here, are we yet? No, we've got 44.7 turmoil there and 44.1 in Somaliland. Of course, once we get the infrastructures built up, then that will allow them to get all the stuff that they need from the market. That will also allow us to, especially over here, start using the population for a lot of industry. Law proposal causes uproar in Monday communities. We'd lose a decent bit of bureaucracy, but we can get another 10% chance of passing that law. So now we've got about 1/3 of chance of it passing next time around, so that should make life a lot easier. And the railway, oh yeah, that is spreading quite nicely. I do want to get that, well, I mean, it is going to be done during next year at least, that's for sure. Then we can start building the railways pretty much everywhere. I mean, by that point we might not have too many constructions going on at the same time either. We're going to need a bit more bureaucracy, but we're working on that one. And then once we get the Central Archives, we're going to increase the bureaucracy a lot as well. We can start incorporating like Somaliland and maybe Oromia even. And that's going to give us a lot of new taxpayers, which of course is very beneficial. I'm still trying to get the land or mercantilism. Then we might get the land voting, because that means that the intelligentsia might get into power soon enough. Or some of the other groups at least might get into power. Who knows? Then we've got 12.8 standard of living, so it has gone down a little bit, but I suppose Oromia isn't all that high in standard of living yet. It's 11.8. They've got 13.4, 13.3. Somaliland is 13.5, and okay, we've got 17.6 in Eritrea. Okay, that's right, pretty high. Even though there's not really anything that special in there, I suppose it works. Right, so we got the. Oh, right, it was the food industry in here, wasn't it? Right, so it's level 2. There's definitely not enough pops in here. So I'm guessing the standard of living in Somaliland is going to be increasing slowly but surely, because the wage itself is just going to keep going up. Is there any immigration coming in here? Not really. Not really. Now we're losing a decent bit of money, though. So we may need to increase the taxes soon. Although, how much is the lack of bureaucracy? Unrealized taxes, 2,000. Okay. Well, some of that is from the turmoil, no doubt. There's 43.2 in here and 44.7, so it hasn't really gone down over here in Oromia. And Somaliland is slowly getting better. Well, actually, I'm not entirely sure about that one. But once we get the railways, that's no doubt going to start helping with the situation a lot. And that's going to allow us to save a lot of workforce in the various places. Like, for example, some of the plantations we can put in the railways in there. So that's going to save us a lot of workforce. And thus we can do a lot more in here. The factories are going to be more, or working more, or at least better employment there, employment levels, and then of course that means that they are going to be in more or better paying jobs in general. Oh, there we go. We're actually making some... Oh, right, because we're not going to be constructing with the full construction speed right now. And that's probably fine. We've got 5 million in the investment pool, so if we just let that go for the time being. Spanish military consultants. Ooh. Tech spread for military. We're on obligation to Spain. But then we get a 10% success chance again. So that would get us to 40%, or we get 10%. Okay, I'm going to take the middle tech spread. I mean, sure, Spain is maybe going to do something bad for us with that, but I don't think it's going to be initially that bad, all things considered. So what is there? Oh, right, the private construction is doing as much as it can, really, in here already. And there we go, railway unlocked, logistics unlocked. Oh, right, so now we're getting the central archives. I don't know when it's going to start spreading in production, but getting the railways was really important. And I think what we're going to do is, let's have a look. What is the lowest? Okay, Somaliland and Oromia are the lowest ones. We're going to build a railway over here. A railway over there. Then we're going to build the railways over here in Madagascar as well. And what we're going to do is we're going to go for the development... Oh, right, barracks. Light infantry, mobile artillery. Where did we... Oh, do we have a barracks in here? Yeah, we do. We don't really need one there. We're going to free up some workforce from Somaliland to work on the other things. And then... So the development, right, railway. If we want to go for the wooden passenger carriers, that's going to take a lot of... Well, it's not going to be that much wood, to be fair. It's going to give a bit more transportation. I suspect that in this market, the transportation is already fairly well available. For example, the... Yeah, it's a decent bit, I suppose. It's not necessarily the best, but it's good enough. Did the millet farms? No, the millet farms don't have that, but it's the plantations that can also have the rail transportation. So that's going to free up a decent bit of workforce. At least in Somaliland. And then in Oromia, we've got plenty of workers there, so we don't need to worry about that area. But then I suppose in the logging camps over here, for example, we could do some of the transportation. And I suppose the sugar plantation, for example. You know what, I'm just going to go through the rule over here. So we'll put in the rail transportation for all iron mines and coffee plantations. Cotton... We're just going to put it on everywhere. It might not be worthwhile everywhere right now because we don't have enough production for it. But at the same time, it's going to start freeing up a lot of workforce, which in the long run is definitely going to be very beneficial, especially in Madagascar. Oh yeah, there's a 30,000 unemployed there, and it will be immediately pushed into other buildings, including the shipyards and a few other things. Oh, the chemical plant. Right, I should get some explosives production. There. Do we have another chemical plant already? Or is that the only one? That's the only one. Okay. The open centers. Do I want to go for the public trams? Actually, I could. Going to be a lot more transportation, but also a lot less laborers needed. So the transportation price is probably going to be through the roof now, but regardless, at least we unlock this stuff. And mercantilism, hopefully we can pass this law. We've been trying to pass this for a decent bit of time. We don't have a lot of infantry right now. How is Tigray's army? So they can have up to 88 conscripts, but they got only 6 regulars. How is their quality of their conscripts then? It's light infantry with mobile artillery, but I don't suppose they initially have a lot of military goods in there. Yeah, not really. But I don't think they'd be able to replenish their losses all that quickly compared to what we can do. Because we'd only had 20 battalions against them, but I think... You know what, if I do the war against them... We've already got a rivalry going. So I go for Gondar. That's 22.5 for me. And then I should be able to invite... Oh, France, maybe Kaffa, but they would not accept. Not yet, at least. But let's go ahead and activate this army already. And we're going to go on a defensive first, but we might have to put it on the defensive. Or what we could do is we could activate the army from Sandri as well, or Madagascar, and put this on the defensive. So we'll have someone defending and one attacking as well. They are activated conscription already. But of course, if we have a look at their market now, I suspect that the artillery, they've got no artillery production, no small arms, nothing. So even though they've got the stuff in there, it should be fairly slow in replenishing at least. Yeah, conscription centers. I mean, they are slowly hiring, I suppose. But I don't think it's going to be too bad. I mean, they've got a lot unemployed there, actually. Well, alright then. And now we're getting the railways in Oromia. First one of its kind, and that's going to be very much needed. Oh, right, there's the journal entry for steam engine time, so we need to have motor industries and building as a railway occupant. Oh, right. Motor industries level 3 or higher. Let's see. Well, we've got level 2 already. We could maybe give this a level, just in case. And then we've got the railway in there as well. We've got 80 infamy per week now. So, getting the Central Archive is still going to take another 2 years right now. We've got 40 battalions in here. They've got 20. They are slowly hiring more. Oh, bollocks. Britain sides with them. So what are they asking for? Open my market. I mean, I'm trying to open my market, and they want war reparations. Can I can't ask Britain to join. Not Britain, France to join anymore. I should have asked them at first, but I don't know if they would have accepted. Okay. I don't know if I could win this. I mean, my troops are definitely not good enough to fight against the British. And they've got 90 battalions already heading in here. No, I can't. I need to back down. But that does force a free market, so I suppose that's good. And now we can cancel that one. We don't need to pass the law anymore. And we could try passing the landed voting, perhaps. Oh yeah, there's a lot of support for it. How's the government doing? So we still got the landowner in power. Britain is damaging relations now. We've got a potential revolution brewing for isolationism. Well, it's only 53 radicalism, so it's not going to fire. So now we need to pay... Oh, okay, so at this stage we need to increase the taxes to not take a massive debt. But now we're getting the railways, which means that we can get the market access going up, at least. This is going to be the first one in Oromia that is... Well, it's going to be, what, 15 infrastructure, more or less? Well, since we got the... Right, okay, we may need to stop bolstering. And then we need to start reducing some of the decrees, I reckon. Plus some of the taxes, perhaps. But if we stop the emergent reliefs here, I suppose we can also stop the road maintenance in there. So there we go, now we've got enough. So the taxes can stay. Is there any better taxes, to be fair? Tobacco is fairly... Oh, actually, we've got a bit of extra now. Could put in the tobacco tax there again. There we go. Now we are losing only 2,700, 2,800. Okay, it's slowly growing there. I suppose we're also taking a little bit more interest in there. Or the debt is increasing, so that is causing some issues. But yeah, Britain. Foiled my plans once again. I'm trying to improve relations with them. Luckily, they're not damaging relations anymore, so we did manage to sort of just go past that point in time at least. And our population is increasing fairly well, so that's good. But right now, the legitimacy is really bad. Landowners are really upset. If we do pass the landed voting, which, to be fair, is still going to take another half a year. So that's pretty bad, and the authority has dropped. Okay, I'm going to just get rid of the luxury clothes consumption tax. So we'll at least have a little bit of authority available, so that's going to speed up the landed voting. I mean, we've got 56% chance of passing it, so it's fairly good chances that we'll get that through, and then we'll get the elections going. We'll maybe get rid of the landowners in power, to some degree at least. Let's see, the railway in Oromia is almost done. So how's Britain doing? We've got cordial relations with them at least. They got defensive pact with Portugal. They are... Actually, they're not in this war yet. But France and Russia are going to attack Dainam. Or conquer Mekong. So the southern half over here. Alright, so the French Indochina will be taking place, or forming up there slowly but surely. So the first railway should be up now, although I don't think we're going to be able to see it in there all that much. Maybe within the... branching out completed. Railway building throughput in Oromia, or North Madagascar is locomotive boom, motor industries throughput, or steel railway costs 4.5. I'm going to take the extra tech there because I'm behind in tech. I need to get as much as I can, so that still would be quite a bit of time because we haven't taken all the level 2s yet. Oh, nitroglycerin is spreading it out. Alright then. That's going to allow us to produce more explosives. That does remind me, didn't we have the ammunition plant over here? We do, but the munitions aren't really in that high demand. There is a lot of sell orders already, and until I switch to skirmish infantry, it's probably not going to be all that much. Oh, colonization of Zambezia completed. Oh, right, yeah, did manage to expand the area there. Alright, so we're not getting a lot of the taxes from some of the area, all the plantations and such. But I do believe we are actually out of time for this episode, so if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also check out the links down below in the description, but other than that, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, bye bye!